Hello friends, it's David here, and I'll be setting out this summer on a Vespa ride to Alaska with my dad. I've always been fascinated with Vespas. I owned a non-Vespa scooter in India and a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Both of them were great, but no other two-wheeled vehicle attracts my attention like a Vespa. The shapes and contours are mesmerizing. I learned about the history of the Piaggio company and how they were forbidden to create aircraft and other weapons of war in post-World War II Italy. A designer came up with the idea of a motorcycle that didn't have parts bolted onto a tubular frame, but the chassis itself was the frame. This timeless shape has remained consistent over 75 years. When presented with the design, Enrico Piaggio exclaimed, "Sembra una Vespa," which translates to, "It looks like a wasp," and the Vespa name stuck. I acquired my silver 2009 Vespa GTS 250 in 2015 to use as my daily commuting vehicle in Flagstaff, Arizona, where it was christened with the Italian name Benedetto. It came with front and rear racks and the tall windshield that I don't like the look of, but fell in love with the comfort, especially since I rode it year-round through Flagstaff winters. Only when the streets were icy would I opt for other transportation. I added a cheap but large top case that didn't quite match the silver body paint, and later a burgundy cheeky seats cover when the original black one started to develop some minor rips. The ambient temperature on the dash always reads 122 degrees Fahrenheit, even on 20-degree winter mornings in Flagstaff. It served me well and moved with me to Tucson, but last year it lost power at a green light and was in the shop for nearly 2 months waiting for a new rear hub from Italy, since none were available in America. With the new rear hub, full service, and clean bill of health from On Any Moto in Tucson, Benedetto is ready for an Alaskan adventure. Those 2 months without Benedetto were painful. I felt like I'd lost my freedom and even did some shopping online for a replacement, but reason would always prevail and I'd tell myself I don't need it and I'll have my old Vespa back soon. Well, reason stopped prevailing in August 2015 when I found a used 2023 GTS 300 in the highest SuperTech trim and an eye-catching navy matte blue paint job, with only 773 miles on the odometer. It came with a rear rack, matching top case, windscreen, and rear chrome crash bars for a decent price. My awesome wife was supportive of the purchase, and it was delivered from Plano, Texas within 10 days. In my short time of ownership, I've set it up for touring by adding a front rack, a floor rack, a tan and navy custom seat cover from Cheeky Seats, and a sheepskin seat pad for warmth in the winter and cooling in the summer. That sheepskin pad is from Alaska, of all places. Since the handlebars aren't exposed and mounting points are limited, I rigged up an accessory bar between the mirror stems to mount a mobile phone, USB power station, action cameras, and a weatherproof 7-inch Apple CarPlay screen. I've named my new Vespa Geppetto. The original plan was to sell the 09, but when Dad expressed interest in completing the Alaska ride with me, I decided to hold off on any sale of the 09 until after we return. I doubt 29,000 miles on the odometer instead of 23,000 will have too much of a difference in resale value. So for the time being, we have 2 Vespas in the garage, waiting patiently to breathe Alaskan air in July. We'll travel with a set of spare tires, spark plugs, drive belts, an emergency gas can gallon, and a simple toolkit. I've already scheduled a service at Vespa Portland about 2/3 the way through our trip for fluid changes and other required services. So why a scooter and not a big, comfortable touring bike or a sport bike or a dual sport? Well, my answer is simply that I have more fun on scooters than any other motorcycle variant. I would hope that anybody setting out on a motorcycle adventure is choosing to do it on whatever maximizes their fun factor. In 10 years of owning a Vespa, I never once found myself saying, I wish I had larger than 13-inch wheels, or more than 300 cc's, or more torque, or a higher top speed, or a louder exhaust. For me, it's a perfect match. Until next time, keep the shiny side up.